Fish. Hello everyone. Sorry I haven't uploaded a video in quite a few days. I've been really busy. I don't know if any of you know, I don't remember if I had said it in any of my other vlogs, but I do homeschool both of my daughters. So things have been kind of crazy because the new semester just started. So we've after being out of school for like 2.5 weeks, we're just trying to acclimate back to the regular schedule. But I wanted to say I'm in the middle of my 28th week. So officially with like pregnancy counters, that means you're in the beginning of your third trimester. According to my doctor, nobody goes by trimesters anymore because you're pregnant for 40 weeks. You're not really pregnant for 9 months. You're pregnant for 10. Obviously, a lot of you already know that. It's common sense. But gestational, during the time that you're pregnant, you could deliver between 36 and 38 weeks. 37 and 40 weeks you can deliver between. So when people are like, oh, you have to go to 40 weeks, no, you don't, because your baby is fully developed and can be born healthy and fine at 37 weeks. So I'm really pushing for that because 40 weeks, I think I'll be like not wanting to do this anymore. It is starting to get extremely uncomfortable sleeping. I think I said that in my last video. Because one of my hips hurts when I lay on it too long. So I'm always like switching back and forth, and then the other side feels like, I don't know, different, like I shouldn't be on that hip. But according to the chiropractor, the baby's likes to be in like that area, like near my pelvis. So she's putting a little extra pressure on that side of my body, which is causing my hip to hurt a little bit more. So I'm hoping that maybe she kind of goes in the middle. I'm pretty sure she's in the head down position, although it's still early. She could flip in any direction. But with my first two, I never had a problem with them being breached, so I'm not really concerned about that. Getting more and more anxieties about delivery. With my first two, I didn't have like the best delivery experience because I was younger. I had my first daughter when I was 21, so I thought that like what doctors said to you was like God's word and that you should just shut up and listen. So I was very naive, and I was induced with my first one like 2 weeks early. I was really uncomfortable, so the doctor was like, oh, just come into the hospital, we'll induce you. Little did I know the drawbacks of being induced and how Pitocin affects your body, because it doesn't really give you that break that naturally in labor when you're not induced, like your contractions start becoming heavier as your cervix progresses. But with Pitocin, they're like, as soon as they hit heavy and hard, and you don't have a break in between, as you would in normal labor and delivery until you start your transitional phase into needing to push when you're dilated all the way. So, excuse me. So yeah, and then with my second, I went into labor, but I guess it didn't progress as fast as the doctors want, which, I don't understand why doctors say that. They're like, oh, it's not going as fast. Your body naturally does things. I would say that if you're still at like a low dilation in the first 5 hours, then maybe, but like when you're in a low dilation, maybe 2 hours after you get to the hospital, and they're like, oh, let's shoot you up with Pitocin. Don't let them do it. It's ridiculous. Like, wait as long as you possibly can until it's a normal amount of time that goes by that you haven't progressed, and it becomes worrisome. It's just, I'm so glad that I have more knowledge now. I'm almost 31, and I'm just going in there like headstrong. Some things that you can request that you may not know. You can request nurses not come in all the time and poke you and prod you and tell you can't have this or that. You have the ability to request that. A lot of nurses are like, whoa, that's weird, but it's your body. You can request that your baby not be taken away and have tests done on them as soon as they come out. Those aren't extremely necessary. People deliver at home and in midwife facilities all the time. They don't do that to the babies, and babies are healthy. People who, have home deliveries or unassisted births, same thing. Excuse me. They don't need this type of thing done to a child. It's kind of an unnecessary thing, but you take a nurse or a doctor out of what they know from being taught that way, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, what do I do? So I'm opting out of, a nurse coming in and poking me and prodding me every like half an hour. I don't want to be hooked up to IVs unless it's absolutely necessary. And yeah, and I don't want my baby taken away as soon as it's born. I think that that amount of time with your baby in the beginning is extremely important, and nobody should take even an hour, 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from you, unless there are concerns about the health and welfare of your child being sick or having some sort of genetic thing that might be passed on to them, that they would have to get those things done. But they can also do that in the room. They don't have to take the baby out. So for those of you who think that everything has to be done the way that the doctors and nurses say, think again. That's why a lot of doctors, and if your doctor hasn't told you that there is a birthing plan, you need to bring that up at your next visit and say, I just want to go over my birthing plan. Write it down. Write what you want. Write what you don't want. And make sure that you stand by it. And just be as strong as you can. This is your body, and we're not in the dark ages. Women aren't tied up and gassed when they're, in labor, so the doctor can just yank the baby out. These are things that everyone should be aware of. So I guess my main point of this video is to be aware of your body, to be aware of what you want for your labor and delivery, and stick to it and be strong. So a lot of you young mothers out there who might feel like, you want to put your trust and faith in doctors and nurses, please look up as much as you can about what you can and can't do, because a lot of hospitals will tell you you can't, but you can. So I guess that's my message for this video. I hope everyone is having a healthy and happy pregnancy thus far, and I'll see you all later.